My. We have got a yard full of animals. Good lands, will you look at this? Will you look at this? And they're all laying out in the prayer circle. Looks like they're milling around, getting ready for church service. Probably wondering where Chris is. Yeah, Chris is going to be back out there with you boys and girls one of these days pretty soon. She's just not going to get out in this wintertime weather. She does not like cold. I don't like cold either. There was a big 12-point out there a little bit earlier. I don't see him out there now unless he's behind a tree. That we got babies. We've got Forrest. We've got Thundercloud was out there somewhere. I don't see him either, but Forrest has already eaten. His bowl is totally empty. But he's hanging around just hoping maybe he'll get some carrots. That's what he's hanging around for. But we have a yard full of critters today. We may be able to see some of those boys start sparring over there. I don't know. They're kind of getting kind of looking around at each other like they might hook it up. It doesn't look like they're going to. Forrest, of course, is larger than the other two his baby brothers out there. He's a little bit larger weight size, but he's not a lot larger, but he's got a little set of antlers on him that the little guys don't have. And he's kind of wanting to duke it out a little bit this morning, just playing. They're just brothers playing. But he's kind of wanting to do that. But it looks like that's not going to happen. It looks like they're just going to eat. I thought, what a great way to start this week's video would be to start with some brothers carrying on. You know, there's some ads on TV now that shows Peyton Manning and his little brother Eli as grown men acting like little brothers. But that's the way brothers do. and that's kind of a funny little commercials they're doing. But the deer are the same way. The deer are the same way. They're so much like we are, really, in a lot of the things that they do. I sure wished I could hear like they could hear. I wished I could hear, period. Not like they could hear. I just wish I could hear like I used to be able to hear. I wish I could hear it all, but I can't. But I wish I could see as well as they can. And I can see really good. I got great vision. And I wish I could, I don't know. I don't think I want to smell as good as a deer. There's a lot of things I get around that I wouldn't want to smell any better than I can smell them right now. So I'll pass on that instinct. We definitely have a crowd here today. We have a crowd here today, and we also have tremendous winds. We have tremendous winds before the last cold front came in. We have them today. They're out of the south. It's going to be about 60 degrees. Oh, look way off out there. There's our 12-point. I've got a bunch of deer right here close by, but I got the 12-point out there thinking that I bet Jimmy is going to throw some, still got both of his horns. We're going to watch him real closely every day. I'm going to zoom in on him just so you can see him, and then I'm going to zoom out and show you what I got right here, because this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. You see how close he's really big and beautiful. I'm going to zoom back in. He's a pretty good ways out there. But show you something else. You see what happens when I zoom back in? Mr. Forrest come over here. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. And I got a bag of carrots, and I'm going to give him a few. But I'm also, and then there's TC. He hasn't lost that other horn yet, but he's going to. And I know some of you are going to say, Jimmy, they're antlers, not horns. Look, you can see now. Get up close there on his head. You can see where that antler was. See, it's still bloody. Now that blood, that'll go away. You know, it's just where it fell off. And we're hoping to find those. We're going to do some shed hunting. I'm going to invite Daniel Arms over here to go shed hunting with me, as I said. But we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at these guys as they lose their antlers. That's going to be very interesting over the next few weeks as they lose them all, and some of them will go, probably clear into February probably before they lose them. But we'll see what it is. So let me give these guys something to eat this morning. 6x6 staying around close because I want to find those sheds. I really want to find those sheds. That is very likely a baby that was born 2 years ago from some of our deer that have been, come right out here. Some of our deer that we've raised here. He's actually a wild baby, but from one of our big Iowa does. That's what I'm thinking. May not be, maybe a pure Oklahoma buck, but he's a dandy, and I sure want those sheds. Well, I want you to take a look at that. That guy's got a bunch of deer in his yard. Is that amazing or what? Yeah, I know whose yard that is. Y'all do too. Just a little different angle. I'm out here with my buddy Red Berry. We're out here in the boat. We got where we caught about all we could catch off the pier, and so we thought we'd go out here and get in the boat. We've been out here about 30 or 40 minutes, maybe an hour, and I'm gonna tell you how many we've caught. We caught zero. Oh, Red's got one right now. I turned the camera on, he's got one. It's a minnow, but he's got one.
Hey, listen,
He's got
it counts.
One. I got it zoomed out for the deer. The fish looks a little bigger. Red weighs 800 pounds. It's actually a 5-pound fish. No, Red don't weigh 800 pounds.
Beautiful buck, Jerry.
Oh my goodness, that's that big 12 point. The big 12 point's up there. We'll zoom in. Big 12 point, he's beautiful. They hear me talking. Big 12 point there. Hoping to find his sheds pretty soon. And Thundercloud has one horn, one antler left. I've looked for that one some. I haven't found it yet. I'm gonna continue to look and hopefully find both of his sheds. But that's beautiful right there. I don't care who you are, where you live. You might see more deer than that every day. But if you do, God bless you because you're very fortunate. But that is a beautiful sight. And there we go. That guy that lives right there is a very blessed man. Our babies are all enjoying the front yard. They're enjoying a little breakfast down there this morning, having a great time. Those are all little baby deer down there, all 5 of them. And they're feeding a lot over here on this front yard. It doesn't look like very much, but there's some clover down there, and there's a little bit of green. I'm not sure if they're eating the green or the brown. As we know, of course, obviously cattle eat hay, all kinds of hay, fescue and alfalfa and Bermuda and all kinds of hay after it's turned brown. So the deer are doing the same thing. They're spending an awful lot of time on the yard very early in the morning. Beautiful out there on the lake. As you can see, the sun's shining down brightly. We had another red sky this morning at daylight. The deer were laying in the yard this morning. I really didn't come out and take any pictures of them, but those are all 5 babies out there, and they're just having a great morning. It's going to get up about 60 degrees again today, and then the high tomorrow is supposed to be 32. So it is just literally amazing, the winter that we're having. We're here into January now, well into January, and we've had some really cold, chill temperatures below 0, but we've also had some beautiful days. And not quite the days we had in November and December, but still really, really nice. So the wind has blown a lot more in the last couple of weeks, and it's blown all fall. It's usually pretty calm down here, and it's been pretty windy, and today is no exception. The wind is smoking. How you doing, Forrest, my buddy? Huh? How you doing, pal? You still have your antlers, don't you? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you do. But I think what we have right there is, I believe that is Thundercloud. Antlerless Thundercloud, I believe. I'm gonna get up here close to him and take a look. I'll go out here and give him some food. It's in the middle of the day. Got the wind blowing like crazy. Got the big wild buck out there. Big wild buck. He's not gonna stay around very close, but he's taming up a little bit more all the time. I'm hoping we don't have too much wind noise. I just got natural sound right here, but isn't he a beauty? But I believe that is, we got a pretty little girl right there. Yeah, the pretty little girl. That's a baby. This is another baby. She's beautiful. She is gorgeous. She is gorgeous, and she's pretty tame. I think I could feed her out of my hands. I may try that. I have some carrots and some grapes, actually both, in my pocket, and I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. But that is TC right there, isn't it? Yes, it is. That is TC. And he has lost both antlers. I'm going to go walking here in a little bit and see if I can find him. But you can see just how big and beautiful he is. But he looks like a big old doe right now. TC, I'm sorry, buddy, to say that about you, but that's it. And you can see that's a big wild Oklahoma buck. Now he may have some Iowa genes in him. He sure is a good possibility that that's happening. But he is a big, beautiful 6x6. He's just absolutely gorgeous. He's tamed up quite a bit. I'm zoomed in on him as far as this iPhone will go. It's 9 power. And he looks really good. He's only out there about 40 yards, actually, is what that is. He looks really, really close. And these guys are wanting me to feed him a little bit, and I think I'll do that. Don't have my tripod out or anything, just holding it, as you can tell. That's why it's so shaky. But it looks good. Look what I have coming up behind me here. I can see the shadows coming up behind me of the antlers, and as I move over, that's who it is right there. And these guys are feeding on this Bermuda or clover, I'm not sure which. I think they're just feeding on a Bermuda, but they have just really been feeding a lot. It's been cold. Comes another little buck coming in, and there's TC. There is TC. All right, let's see if we can give you all a little food. As we get up here close and start looking, we find out that there's another little buck right there, and I don't know exactly what buck that is. That very well may be 06. I don't see 03 out here anymore, so I think that is 06 right there that has lost the one that he had. I'm not positive about that, but I don't see 06, so that's probably it. You can look over there and you see that was bloody the other day. You can't see it now, that little deer's in front of him there. But that deer there has shed both of his antlers already, or maybe one. I think that one might be the one that grew over, but there is TC Thundercloud right there. And you can see that one, you can't see the blood anymore. It's turned dark color. It's scabbing over. And on both sides, it's actually done that now, because I think that was the left side that he lost first. If I remember correctly, I'm gonna look back and see. But I think that's it. And now he's completely antlerless. It won't take long till they start growing back. So we'll be watching them also as we're watching Whitey. Of course, Whitey will be losing both of his up there sometime pretty soon. And it's Whitey, but Whitey's still breeding. But now that's a buck right there. And I can't really tell, but I think it may be 06. It's now back to 03. There's a little 3-point over there, right here. Here's our little 4-point. And then, of course, TC. And I think that is 03 right there. We watch him lose these horns. It'll be really interesting to see. And we're going to have a bunch of deer that look like does. And, of course, there's that big boy. He's waiting for me to get out of here. I threw some, we had some lasagna last night. And we burnt the garlic toast. So I threw a lot of it out here. They pretty much cleaned that up. There's still a few pieces. And I threw some okra that we had left over from Golden Chick the other day. And looks like they're not helping themselves with that okra too much. But it's hard to compete with South Fresh. But I think they might eat that okra. That's okra, of course, is fried okra, which is great. I can't believe we had any left. They give you a lot up there. And TC is not quite such a bully as he was, but he still stick his foot up there, and he's still huge. Look at the size of him, and that's one of his boys right there. It's going to be really interesting to watch them as they start growing back. That's going to happen pretty soon, and hopefully we'll find TC's antlers. I'm going to be looking for them, and hopefully I sure want to find the antlers of that guy right there, because I think he might be one of our deer that was born here on the ranch just probably a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, that might have an Iowa mama. And he looks real good, but he might just be one of our good big Oklahoma bucks also. It's going to be interesting, but he is a beauty, definitely a beauty.